City News is brought to you by East Brewster Lawyers, Rotorua, celebrating 100 years of legal excellence and innovation.
Good evening, Rotorua. Tonight on City News, a geothermal workshop hopes to help landowners profit from geothermal energy. The Rotorua Trust has announced it will seek community feedback about trustees' term of office, and the Te Arawa Games will take place next weekend at Makatu. A workshop which aims to help landowners profit from geothermal energy is being held here next week. The workshop is part of the Bay of Connections energy strategy. Grow Rotorua CEO Francis Powell says having internationally acclaimed geothermal expert Dr. John Lund as a keynote speaker has helped build interest in the two-day workshop.
What happened when we said we were going to bring it out, GNS got hold of it and said, well, we want to be interested, we want to be involved. Ministry of Business and Innovation heard about it through the Maori strategy, and they said, well, we want to be involved. So yeah, he's from Klamath Falls in Oregon, which is actually a sister city of Rotorua. Runs the Geo Heat Centre there, yeah, so he's sort of he's the worldwide guru. So he's been a phenomenal draw card that I think's helped the popularity of the workshop.
Yeah. And the workshop's over a couple of days next week. What sort of things are you going to be discussing?
Well, there's quite a big agenda there. The best idea is if people go and have a look on the Bay of Connections website and have a look at that agenda.
The geothermal workshop is on next Tuesday and Wednesday. The Rotorua Trust has announced it will seek community feedback about trustees' term of office. Chairman Graham Hall says the trust deed, which was adopted in 1994, does not outline any term limit for trustees elected to the trust. At present, trustees are elected by the community at a triennial election. However, Mr. Hall says the trustees agree that a survey of the wider community is the best way to consider the matter. APR consultants will undertake the survey next week on behalf of the Trust. And the Trust Works continues with their presentation this week of Tertiary Study Awards. 43 local school students each won a grant valued at $2,000 per year for 4 years. Nearly 840 Rotorua students have received Tertiary Study Awards at a value of almost $6 million since the scheme began in 1996. In sport tonight, final preparations are underway for organisers and competitors in next weekend's Te Arawa Games. Te Papa Takaro o Te Arawa organiser Stephen Timoni says this year the Games are being held at Makatu. He says focus this year is on reflecting Māori culture in all aspects of the events.
Now, the main focus that we've changed is a shift from the strictly competitiveness that we have associated with most sports. So we've changed the whole focus on and asked some really integral questions. What does it mean to be Te Arawa? How do we celebrate being together as Te Arawa? So with that in mind, we've changed some of the games and kind of manipulated them somewhat to fit a cultural kind of context, and suit us being in Makatu, that being the landing spot of our Te Arawa waka, and ultimately with the dream to visit some of the significant sites from Makatu all the way to Tongariro eventually.
And Benji Marshall has been named in the Blues teams to take on the Chiefs in tomorrow night's pre-season clash at the International Stadium. The Bay of Plenty raised former NRL star is now trying his hand at rugby union in front of a home crowd, but playing for the opposing team, causing some conflict among fans. Tickets are $15 for adults and $5 for children, with gates opening at 5 p.m. To your other update now. Tonight, fine spells with westerly breezes and an overnight low of 12. Tomorrow, Friday, increasing fine spells, easing westerlies, a high of 21 and a low of 10. And the outlook for Saturday, fine, morning and evening cloud with light winds, a high of 23 and a low of 10. And the marine forecast for Lake Rotorua, westerly 10 knots easing in the evening with waves less than half a metre and mainly fine. Remember, for program listings and other info or to catch up on City News, visit tvrotorua.co.nz or our Facebook page. Still to come in tonight's program, we hear from Bay Trust Rescue Helicopter pilot Barry Vincent and Airport CEO Alistair Rose about the Airport Open Day next month. And we find out about the new Hidden Hotspots campaign being run by Destination Rotorua Marketing.
Well, if you're somebody who likes to mark calendars and mark year planners in advance for things that are coming up, one day and one event that you need to mark in very, very soon, in fact, after you've watched this, is the Sunday of the 30th of March. It's all happening out here at Rotorua International Airport, and it's an open day with a difference. You may remember last year we did an open day at the Bay Trust Rescue Helicopter headquarters at the hospital. Well, it's coming out here to the airport because there's a big celebration to mark the 50th anniversary of the airport here as well. And we're going to be talking to Alistair, their CEO, on that a little bit later on. But it is a full open day from 11 o'clock on that morning, the 30th, Sunday the 30th of March. With me is Barry Vincent from the Bay Trust Rescue Helicopter. Not only is he one of the driving forces, but he drives the helicopters as well, hence our sitting in this nice cockpit doing the interview. We haven't chatted for a while, have we?
It's been a while, mate.
But this is a very exciting combination of events, if you like, and obviously people, an open day that the public can come out and find out what's going on. There's going to be something here for everybody, but from your point of view with the rescue helicopter, what's the involvement?
Well, firstly, it's a great opportunity for us to be able to do something a little bit different. We've been running the open days for 7 or 8 years now, so to be able to come out and use the airport gives us a little bit more scope to be able to showcase what we do, as well as being involved with the airport here as well. It's a brilliant opportunity for us to combine both our events to make it hopefully a more significant
Even
event.
bigger event.
Yeah,
Could be
Yeah.
start of something maybe.
it could be.
But I know last year and probably again this year, the various activities, you've got the other emergency services coming who were very supportive of you last year. So a bit of a rundown of what we might see on the day and people can see.
Yeah, well, this year we'll be doing displays with the police armed defender squad and dog section. So this time we'll actually be able to incorporate our involvement by using the helicopter as part of that deployment and display. So it'll give it a little bit more easily able to do in a fairly restricted space up by the hangar. So you can more see what we actually do with these guys and how we deploy them.
It's quite exciting in terms of what people can see. On TV just recently I saw a piece where they lowered a police dog, I think it was a rescue dog, but of both, from a helicopter, and looked like it was loving every minute of it. We're going to see any of that?
Yeah, we hope to be able to demonstrate the use of the winch on the day as well. And we're going to have all the other emergency services out here with us hopefully, St John's and the Coast Guard and all the regulars that support us. And like I say, it's a completely different environment for us to be in, so hopefully we can capture a different audience as well as the same audience that comes and have
Lots more people in actual fact.
Yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, our being out here, it's us being able to support the airport, so it's a bit of a mutual benefit for us both doing this together. We both bring a little bit or different things to the table on it, but at the end of the day it's all about it's our chance to say to the community, hey look, come and have a look at what we do, but come and have a look at what you support as well, because we just get so much community support and involvement here. Again, we can't do what we do without the community support, so they can actually come out and have a look at what we do and come and talk to the crews that are doing the job. So,
I know there's also a bonus in there, because I think I read somewhere where there may be a flight in this helicopter, with you probably piloting it, I guess, as a prize on the day, but that's something that people can really find out a bit more about by going to the organiser's website and things like that.
That's
but
correct,
also they can support you with a gold coin donation, which goes to the Bay Trust Rescue Helicopter and I think blue light activities.
That's correct,
and things like that. So it's a bit of giving back from their point of view as well.
Yeah, a little bit. So we tend to look at it more as this is our chance to let the community see what we do and what they support. And yes, we will be putting up for grabs. Not quite sure of the details yet, but we've got efficient and stand across here and take it home at the end of the day. So we'll be offering some seats to some people on the day to come along and have a ride in a rescue helicopter, which for healthy people, they normally don't get to do that. It's normally sick people that come.
The
along
other
with us,
reason that you're out and about, but that's a nice change of role. So thanks for talking to us, and all the very best for the day. We look forward to supporting you guys and seeing more of what you do, and hopefully it'll be a day like today weather-wise. So
we keep our fingers crossed.
Thank you, Barry. Cheers. Of course, a very important part of the open day on the Sunday of the 30th of March from 11 o'clock in the morning will be the celebration, if you like, of the Rotorua International Airport side of things. And with me is the man at the top, as it were, CEO Alistair Rhodes. Alistair, this is going to be a great day on the day, plenty for the public to see and do. So from the airport side, what are they going to be able to get involved in?
Yeah, so we're really looking forward to the day, actually. So for us, it's all about connecting with the community and getting re-engaged with the community and trying to encourage the passion for flying again. So there's going to be a number of activities we're going to hold here. We've got a number of our partners on the airfield that are going to be doing, a few kind of displays. There's going to be some flights. DC3 is going to be coming down from Auckland that people can actually purchase flights on. We're running a bunch of kind of competitions, and we're also going to be running a sort of internal kind of movie theatre showing some of the history of this airport and what's happened over the last 50 years here as well.
So it's kind of hands-on and interactive in more ways than one, really. A few years ago, I have to say, I went for a ride probably on the same DC3 that's coming down here.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. It's a bit of nostalgia, but the DC3 in actual fact is one of the most reliable planes ever built, and it's still flying.
Yeah, it is actually. It's a fantastic experience. So, really recommend to people to come out and actually try it and experience it for the first time. The other thing we're going to be doing is opening some of our airside access, which usually you can actually only go into the International Departure Lounge if you're flying internationally. So people are going to be welcome to come through there and actually see what happens on the other side. And as part of that, we're going to get our customs, the MPI, the aviation security do displays, and this actually illustrate and talk to the community about actually what they do and what their role at the airport actually is.
It's interesting because there'll be a lot of people even watching right now who are sort of fascinated about what goes on at an international airport. There is a lot that goes on, so that's their opportunity on the day. Now, parking-wise, is it all going to be open? And I can hear people asking.
Yeah, so it's going to be free parking out here. So we've got a surplus land out here we're going to use for parking, and if that land becomes full up, we're also going to be looking at running some buses in from town out here as well. So parking, we're hoping, shouldn't be an issue.
Sure, sounds good. And I also hear a little bit of a whisper about there might be a prize of a trip to Sydney somewhere in there. Is that happening?
I think we're going to have a few prizes out here on the day. So
he's not saying too much. Yeah.
Wait and see what happens.
But it is going to be a fantastic day. Thank you for talking to us, and we wish you all the very best for the day. It's going to be Sunday, of course, the 30th of March. Stick it in the calendar, as I said before when we spoke to Barry. Don't miss it, because it's going to be kind of something you don't want to miss. Plenty for everybody to do. It's a family day out, so we'll see you then.
An online video series called Rotorua's Hidden Hotspots has just been released by Destination Rotorua, and today we're going to catch up with their General Manager Oscar Nathan to find out what they're all about and exactly where you can watch these videos. Appreciate your time today, Oscar. Now, before we get into the actual nuts and bolts about the videos, and how did you come up with the ideas to actually focus on each individual and specific message that's come through each video?
I suppose it harks back to our domestic market research, and we spent quite a bit of time planning what is now the famously Rotorua campaign, and in that research we pretty much partnered up with AC Nielsen and a bunch of others and worked with about 80 people over the period of about 3 or 4 days. Locked them in rooms and asked them sort of obscure questions about just generally, before they even knew it was a Rotorua destination survey or exercise, just asked them general questions about what their just normal thoughts were as Kiwis. and then we started getting more specific. And out of that research, tons of video. The video is quite interesting. And even, you know, quirky things like, you know, if Rotorua, if you have to write an epitaph about Rotorua, what would you write? What do you miss the most? And it sort of gets right inside of what they actually know, and more importantly for us, what they don't know, which is the challenge. So the videos are one of the things that the team has come up with, working in the wider campaign strategy around how do we start selling and celebrating messages that are almost like untold secrets, so that we can start getting it across to the audience. Yeah.
Now, there's 6 videos that have been made, and obviously they have to be short because obviously people's attention spans these days aren't that long. So with each individual video, what's the main message in each one?
There's a mix of them. So there's family, forest, adventure, spa, luxury, and also we wanted to put a bit of a contemporary Māori cultural spin on things as well, which we also introduced in some of the television commercial stuff that we do. But yeah, the focus was really around saying, hey, there's some things we're really well known for, which is Māori culture, our access to geothermal and the outdoor adventure, but we really want to make sure that we expand, so Māori culture, contemporary culture, from the geothermal, spa and wellness, and then definitely in the outdoor adventure is us owning that mountain biking space, because we've got such a great asset for that.
Now, you've been quoted to saying that you wanted to challenge people's perceptions. Now, those people, are you talking about international visitors or the local domestic national visitor?
Predominantly at this point, a lot of our focus, so 50% of our resource and focus is in the domestic market. Rotorua actually gets circa 70% of its total visitation is actually domestic, but in that we have to realise that what you have is visiting friends and relatives, and they're huge influences on international travel patterns, particularly when they're talking to their relatives about what to do. So yeah, it's predominantly domestic with a shaping of international. Yeah.
And the other good thing about these videos, Oscar, is that you've got a local production company to make them, so it's good you're keeping money in the economy. So is that part of the plan as well?
Absolutely part of the plan, and consistent with where the new leadership with council's going, as well as we've got some great local talent here that we use, and the production of these videos, in many ways you can't really tell hidden secrets and share hidden secrets if you're not using locals that know the hidden secrets. So otherwise the recce would take a lot longer than what it did. So yeah.
And it's good that you brought up the new council, because we talked to a lot of people like yourselves and business leaders, and there's a new vibrancy in town. Do you have that same sort of enthusiasm coming through here at Destination Rotorua? Yeah,
absolutely. If anything, we're quite lucky. We've, through the support of the Tourism Committee and the council, we've sort of been on a 12 to 18 month pattern of change anyway. So what's been really nice is when Mayor Steve and some of the new council, and definitely the new attitude of the council, come in, and now that's infusing across the wider organisation. We're really, that's going to hit the ground running, and we're already running. So we're looking forward to sort of all that stuff coming together. There's some, still some challenges coming up over the next couple of months, but I think everything's out in the open and things will be really transparent, and we'll be able to get on with it.
And just coming back to the videos, have you tagged this along, obviously, with the famous Rotorua video as well?
Yeah.
So you're going to join the 6 to make the 7 different videos?
Yeah, I suppose the Famously Rotorua campaign has got sort of, very hierarchical sort of campaign elements in it that we got out of the research. These videos are more call to actions, particularly in that the online and social media space. Again, us being able to use really short, sharp, they're all 90 seconds. People's attention span these days is pretty short. So,
is that right?
so the whole idea is to wherever we can embellish what we're doing with the television commercial stuff, and that's what and these won't just be used online. We use them in other trade promotions and things like that.
Looking long term, Oscar, how do you measure the success of this sort of campaign?
I suppose the big challenge for Famously is essentially, we need to lift the change of perception of the destination. So measurement isn't just about visitor measures in terms of visitor numbers or visitor nights, but it's actually about confidence. It's about, you going up and visiting mates in Auckland and saying, geez, all we see is Rotorua, or we've heard really great stuff, or look, I never knew about this, I saw this feature in the Herald, and it's really around how can we, with the role that we have, work with Rotorua Inc., to basically change perception, because it's really important that I think over the last couple of years, the perception of us as a destination externally has slipped for various reasons, and without crying over spilt milk, we just need to wipe the table, get on with it, get people to the table, and let them see and share and understand that there's so much more than what they think.
Yeah, that's a great concept. Now, if viewers at home are wanting to have a watch of these videos, are they on YouTube or do they go to your website?
I think they're on both, but the easiest way is to go to our website, and you'll be able to see them on there. If you go to our video collateral, and you'll see them listed there, and occasionally we'll put them up on the front page. Depends on how we rotate things out.
Now, how did you get to the focus of each of these different videos?
I suppose the main thing for us is the journey that we've been on started actually 24 months ago with the campaign. So whilst the television commercials only started back in October, the research behind it started a lot earlier. So some of the research that we did, we literally, you want to change the perception of Aucklanders, so we went to Auckland, we worked with AC Nielsen and a whole bunch of others. Over 80 people participated in our research program over a couple of days, and we essentially asked them, what's your quintessential New Zealand experience, before they even knew that they were there for Rotorua, or we were asking questions on behalf of Rotorua. What is it that you think of from a domestic Kiwi perspective? And they gave us a whole bunch of things, and these sort of infographics, the bigger the word, the more that was said or felt. And then, so quite clearly, there's interesting stuff in there. And then when we say, well, when you think of Rotorua as a destination, what do you think of? And, this is some of the stuff that they were thinking of, which isn't surprising, because really we haven't actually been selling a message domestically for a long time, and that's a lot of our international messaging, which has crossed over into domestic. So the big opportunity for us is actually, when you look at both, what people ideally want to see in their holiday and what we've got, that they do match up. We just need to make some of where the adventure is there, make that more prominent and join those two. And that's just a marketing challenge.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah. So we're looking forward to it. Yeah.
We appreciate your time. Thank you, Oscar. Yeah.
Cool.
Scenes there from one of the new Hotspots videos recently released by Destination Rotorua Marketing. If you have any news or an event that we can support, give the station a call on 073488 984, or you can email news@tvrotorua.co.nz. Thanks for joining us tonight. From all the team at City News, from Maria.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.
City News was brought to you by East Brewster Lawyers Rotorua, celebrating 100 years of legal excellence and innovation.